From a desert tent in Sirte to the throne of an oil-rich nation, to the violent collapse that shook the world. Muammar Gaddafi's story is one of the most dramatic and polarizing in modern history. Revolutionary, visionary, dictator, madman, hero. His titles depend on who you ask. This is the rise, rule, and ruin of Libya's most enigmatic leader. Muammar Mohammed Abu Minyar Gaddafi was born in 1942 in the barren outskirts of Sirte. He belonged to the Kadhafa tribe, semi-nomadic Bedouins living in poverty. As a child, he slept on mats, learned tribal values, and listened to stories of resistance to Italian colonization. These stories shaped his belief that Libya must stand independent at any cost. Gaddafi excelled academically, a disciplined student with strong nationalist ideas. He was expelled from school for organizing anti-Western demonstrations. He admired Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser, seeing him as a model Arab hero. Nasser's pan-Arab ideology would later form the backbone of Gaddafi's political mission. By the late 1960s, Libya was ruled by King Idris I, a conservative monarch criticized for corruption and close ties with the West. With oil just discovered, Libya was becoming strategically important. A group of young officers felt the king was surrendering Libya's destiny to foreign powers. On September 1, 1969, while King Idris was abroad receiving medical treatment, a group of 70 officers launched a bloodless coup. At just 27 years old, Muammar Gaddafi became the leader of the Libyan Arab Republic. The charismatic young officer promised equality, unity, and a Libya free from foreign dominance. Gaddafi expelled foreign military bases, nationalized Libya's oil, and redirected profits to public services. On-screen facts: free education, free healthcare, subsidized housing, massive infrastructure projects. Many Libyans saw him as a hero. During the 1970s, Libya's living standards rose faster than most developing nations. Illiteracy plummeted. Life expectancy increased. For many, it felt like a new golden era. Gaddafi introduced a unique ideology, explained in a three-part manifesto called the Green Book. He rejected capitalism and communism, promoting a system he called Jamahiriya, the state of the masses. On paper, it was a direct democracy. In practice, Gaddafi maintained absolute control. Gaddafi's foreign policy was aggressive. He supported various militant groups and revolutionary movements worldwide. The U.S. labeled Libya a state sponsor of terrorism. Tensions escalated. The U.S. strikes. In April 1986, after accusing Libya of a Berlin nightclub bombing, the United States bombed Tripoli and Benghazi. Gaddafi survived. His 15-month-old adopted daughter died. The attack hardened his anti-Western stance. In 1988, Pan AM Flight 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland. 270 people died. Western intelligence blamed Libyan agents. Whether he ordered it directly remains disputed today. But sanctions isolated Libya for a decade. Rejected by the West, Gaddafi turned to Africa. He envisioned a United States of Africa, a single currency, one army, one government. He invested billions across the continent. Hospitals, mosques, roads, telecom networks. To some African leaders, he was a generous ally. To others, eccentric and unpredictable. In the early 2000s, a dramatic shift occurred. Libya gave up weapons programs and accepted responsibility for Lockerbie. In exchange, sanctions were lifted. Gaddafi went from pariah to partner. Western oil companies returned. Diplomats praised his reforms. Yet inside Libya, dissent remained illegal. Torture, disappearances, and executions were reported by human rights groups. In 2011, the Arab Spring swept across the Middle East. Libyans took to the streets, demanding change. Gaddafi promised harsh retaliation. "I will hunt them like rats," he said in a televised speech. The uprising escalated into a civil war. Gaddafi's forces advanced toward rebel strongholds. NATO intervened with airstrikes, enforcing a UN no-fly zone. With international support, rebels pushed westward. By October 2011, Gaddafi retreated to his hometown of Sirte. Surrounded, outnumbered, and cut off, he attempted to flee. On October 20th, rebels captured him. Moments later, he was killed. The man who ruled Libya for 42 years was gone. Libya fractured after his death into rival governments and militias. Civil war, foreign interference, human trafficking, and economic collapse followed. Some Libyans now look back on the Gaddafi era with nostalgia. Others remember oppression, fear, and brutality. Muammar Gaddafi remains a mystery. Neither fully hero nor fully villain. His story is a lesson in power ideology and the unpredictable cost of revolution. Thank you for watching. If you found this documentary insightful, please subscribe for more in-depth analyses of world history and global politics.